What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's Motorfest video, I once again do want to revisit PvP in one way. That is probably going to be one of the most important things they could actually do to this entire game mode. Now, I do know in older videos I talked about like adding different classes or like all kinds of different events to where you can pick those and jump in. And also join your crew and also jump into events with them or do like team racing and stuff like that would be amazing. Now, I do want to mention, though, I would say at this point, many people are probably going to be like, okay, Blocked, you obviously have a lot of ideas, and most of this stuff may not even happen in this game. But the way I look at this, though, is why not put this out there because we honestly never know. I also would say I really do feel like Motorfest has such a bright future ahead of it, and we really have no idea what they're most likely going to add. But can you all imagine right now if the entire PvP had like a ranked game mode? Now, I do understand this is probably going to be the type of thing that many players might be like, well, yeah, ranked game mode might be kind of cool, but you know what, Blocked? I would say maybe later on they can add something like this. Let's add some stuff to like the main PvP first, and then actually add something like a ranked mode later on, which I would most likely say that's probably like the better way to do it. Now, I did have a few ideas with how a ranked game mode on this would actually work because we do know in certain games like Apex Legends does have a ranked mode or even like Call of Duty. Now, those are obviously going to be FPS shooters, so it's going to be a different design. We can all agree, though, there's been a lot of like controversy over the main, like I guess you could say PvP ranked mode in Apex. A lot of people love it, a lot of people do not. So the big question is, what is a good way they can actually have a ranked mode in Motorfest, or like what is going to be a good way that players might actually want to do it? Now, one of the big reasons why I did mention this, though, is a lot of players might honestly want to do ranked and most likely try to, climb their leaderboards and get better. We did see stuff like this back in Apex Legends to where you most likely might go, yeah, let's try to get to, like, Platinum or even Diamond or, like, even hit Masters. But the big thing here, though, is if you are doing that, you're only going to get, like, a tiny little badge and, like, a really weird-looking, like, even dive trail that most players don't even care about. Now, don't get me wrong, though, I'm not saying those rewards are terrible, but let's be honest, though, they can easily make them a bit better and most likely give you a few more items. I always thought, like, having a special weapon skin or something would be dope. But the main reason why I am mentioning this, though, is many players are most likely going to want to have, like, a bigger reason to at least jump on and go after different rewards. So the big question is, what can they actually give you in a ranked system? So if I had to guess, they could probably do, like, a bronze, silver, even, like, a gold and platinum, similar to something that wasn't like the Crew 1 or even, like, the Crew 2 before. And it's most likely going to resemble something like the Summit, but for this, maybe each rank can give you something on each one, like going into bronze to silver. Maybe you can go after like special items like a few vanity items like a tire, even something like maybe a smoke and even an exhaust thing, or like, something else like maybe giving you more parts and stuff like that going through the ranks. And maybe all of those vanity items you end up getting are going to be tied to the rank you were actually in. On top of that, maybe they can add like money and XP for each rank you end up climbing up. And let's say you end up finishing in gold, you end up getting like some vanity items tied to gold, and you also get like a nice chunk of money and also parts and like XP. I feel like that would actually be insanely cool to do something like this. Now, I am sure though that many players are most likely going to want more than just like vanities and stuff like that from doing the like main rank thing in the game. So I would say a good way to do this is to maybe add something into platinum, like maybe a card, like even a special edition of a vehicle that's already in the game right now. I would say something like that would honestly be pretty dang dope. Now, I did mention before that, yeah, the summits are going to last a week currently. Maybe they can make like the main rank thing last maybe 2 or 3 weeks might be better. That way it's not going to tie into like the summit contest or like take away from that, but you can also jump into like regular PvP and do ranked if you want to. Now the big question here is how would this actually work? Like what would you do to get points? I would say the biggest thing here is for everybody to actually get points in the event. Now the difference here though is maybe the amount of points you get is going to be tied to your rank but also your placement in the races. So let's say you're going to be in bronze and you're trying to climb up to silver. Maybe getting around like in the top 10 is most likely going to get you more points to silver. And then maybe being in like the top 5 is going to get you even more points. Now, we do know you're most likely going to have bad events here and there where you're probably not going to do nearly as good as you want to, or like, you most likely get like maybe 15 or 17th. Even then, you're still going to get points when you're in a lower rank. Now, the thing is, though, once you get into silver, it might end up getting a bit more difficult. Let's say in order to get more points, you have to get in like the top 15 or something. The only way you actually get a decent amount of points, you have to be in the top 15 only. If you're past that, you're actually not going to get anything or like you even out. or you might go down maybe like a few points or something like that every event, but at least it's going to encourage you to do a bit better to get to a higher rank. This can also go for like maybe even gold, so let's say you get into gold, and the only way to get more points in gold to head toward platinum is to most likely get like around 10th or even 8th place. Anything above that, you're most likely going to even out or go down like a few points. Now, I would say something like this might end up being a bit complicated, but the big thing here is to most likely make it to actually rewards you. Now, the thing is, though, if you actually manage to make it into platinum, the only way you'll be able to keep platinum is to get around like 7th or under. That way you actually maintain your score so you don't go back into gold. Now, this is once again going to last around 2 to 3 weeks, so at least it gives you time to like, yeah, jump back in and maybe improve your score, like something like that, but it is most likely going to be a certain amount of players in platinum, gold, and silver, and so on, similar to the summits, and that way you're actually going to get like your rewards like the vanity items, money, XP, a possible vehicle in platinum would be insane. Now, I do admit one thing, there's only going to be one big flaw with this entire thing. That is going to come down to the exploiting and like the main stuff people might be cheating on. We do know we're probably going to see cheating and stuff like that in something like a PvP ranked mode, and it's most likely something you cannot get rid of whatsoever in anything. And we do know certain exploits are probably going to be used in this, that way they can be faster like the wheel mode. One way they could probably stop this is to like turn off like your parts or like even your pro settings to make it all about the driving skill of the said vehicle or like the player doing it. At the same time though, being able to use your actual pro settings and your parts would honestly be amazing, not only for like grinding out parts in like the main game, but I would also say though, being able to use like your main gold part sets in a ranked game mode would actually make a lot more sense. We do know in like the grand races and stuff it would probably be kind of annoying, and a lot of players might go in there for like challenges or like, to have a great time, but on the other side of that, a ranked game mode is probably, going to be ranked with a lot of players trying to get better, or at least climb the higher leaderboards and probably get the rewards, so at least it will end up giving you a bigger reason to most likely go after the higher ranks. And I really do feel like, by the way guys, being able to use a gold part set in a ranked game mode makes a lot more sense. We do know like the regular PvP modes probably isn't going to be that insane, and separating the two is most likely going to be the best way to do it. Now, I would like to know what you guys think about this entire ranked concept. Do you think something like this would end up working, or what do you think is the best way to do it? I do feel like having a ranked game mode with rewards in Motorfest would be amazing. Not only would it bring a lot of players into PvP, but it would also be a great way to set like the quote-unquote tryhards in a different game mode. That way the people who want to like casually race or like, jump in with their friends and have a great time in like a PvP event, that way it's then going to separate all of that so you can enjoy both sides of it. But again guys, I would like to know what you think about a ranked game mode here in Motorfest. Do you think something like this would end up working? And what is probably going to be the most efficient way to do it for all sides of all the players?